So is Swift as well. I believe he's is he ranked in Delaware?
I do not follow the Delaware scene, so I have no clue.
I'm actually gonna look that up real quick. But heading into this game one here, I mean, we got the good old reliable PS2. You already know the vibes here, and
Yep.
yeah, tell me about why this is such a, struggle of a matchup.
Well, I mean, there's literally one move that can potentially invalidate the whole matchup for the character, and that is up B.
Yeah.
Shield pressure is just non-existent. And, Swift is actually, I want to say, making me eat my words, because they are doing positioning pressure more than anything. And with that, they are, getting good damage in which they normally wouldn't be able to with shield pressure. And that's definitely going to be very important in this one, as, you cannot take the game in a way that, is bad for you. You cannot take the game in a way that you struggle with. You need to play for your advantage. And Swift is so far doing a really clean job of that.
Yeah, and as I look it up right here, he was ranked number 4 in Delaware in spring 2023. Hasn't got to as many tournaments lately, so he wasn't able to get ranked on the other PRs, but whenever he does come out to tournaments, he always puts on a show, and we're seeing that right now, taking that first stock pretty cleanly.
Yeah, taking a stock against Game & Watch this early, making it so that the just overall pressure is in your favor and that you could just play for positioning, that is always going to be very, very good for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the same time, Kazi is still an incredibly solid player. I remember he got a big win over, I believe, Noku a while ago, and that kind of put him on the map. And he's always able to really take advantage of Game & Watch's strengths and play a more patient game, but Swift right now is not really letting him do that.
Yeah, and barely clipping the jump. Well, no, the up B, but still having the jump and also the bouncing fish to be able to get back is Swift. So, this is just going to be Kazi really struggling to get this kill right now. But, Game & Watch can just kind of throw things out to get those kills, and that forward air is going to be one of them, but barely not killing just yet.
I will say it is a very underrated option, that forward there. I feel like covers a lot of the potential aerial movement that Swift has, and we see right there covering the neutral gap on the ledge in tandem with the down smash, able to secure that first stock.
Yeah, so this is going to be now Swift going to second stock, but still with such a lead that it is definitely up to Kazi to be able to show a little bit more of life here, as just Swift has been kind of running away with it right now.
Yeah.
But, Kazi bringing things back a little bit at a time, getting 57 on this second stock, so, and bringing it closer and closer.
Yeah, I think Game & Watch in general can put on more damage than you might expect. You see these sort of innocent looking attacks and then you realize you've taken 80% damage.
Yeah.
Sometimes things like that will happen. I feel like Kazi able to get some of those arrow combos off and get those early percentage build up, but this is a situation, this percentage range, where you don't necessarily have crazy kills unless you go for a big up smash read, in which you do, which, I mean, if you're just going to get up smash reads like that, then you just got to respect it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it was a roll read or just, kind of like a are you going to run in read, but either way, working out as Kazi going to be able to bring Swift to last stock and take the lead back.
Yeah, no, he has a lead now, which is something I don't believe he's had pretty much all game. And that's, when it comes down to, again, closing stocks, Mr. Game & Watch is one of the best in the game at doing that, and that's why he's sort of ranked so highly on the tier list lately, right? Is because he has so many different ways, right? Those smash attacks that are lag-free. Obviously, you also have that up B, although it doesn't kill. It's a very invalidating option. And you even have the back air as well on the floor there.
Yeah, and hopefully Swift will be able to get a stock relatively soon. But, Kazi just kind of bringing up this little wall and holding behind it, as they're not really going to interact. They're just going to hold their position.
Yeah.
They know they have the lead, but a back air actually going to be able to take a kill for that. And that was pretty much almost center stage, so I'm surprised that actually was able to kill there. And
I mean, Game & Watch is light. You got a bit of rage. It was the tipper. I mean, I can see it. I mean, it's definitely a little bit odd, but you got to consider the matchup a little bit. But I will say, I like the way that Kazi is using these forwarders because, I mean, we saw it in the previous set with Nathaniel versus Tab Soda. Those grounded options for Sheik can really lead into some kill confirms. So preventing those down tilts and forward tilts is pretty crucial.
Yeah, and right now both players just, I feel like they're dancing around each other in a way, trying to get more of a read on each other, as Swift is going back to more of a positioning game, realizing that, you know, they don't really want to approach the wall. They want to find a way in, but catching them on a dash out, and that DI is going to send them straight into game 2.
Yeah, and Kazi gonna take that game after being down a little bit, able to sort of catch up on those percentages and able to just secure much earlier KOs. I mean, we saw the up smash earlier in that game really play a crucial part, and then we saw, I mean, we saw in the end of the game, able to get that chair, you know, WWE style, no holds barred. Able to get that chair KO, which is another very strong KO option that Mr. Game & Watch has. Here we go for game 2. We see a little bit of a color swap, but no stage counter pick.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely the right choice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just needs to be a game of adaptation. And Swift definitely had just like the right idea going into that game 1, but let it slip away from him a little too much.
Yeah, I will say I think a lot of, especially tri-state players, have the sort of mentality of like, as I transition from game 1 to game 2, I have the adaptations made in mind from game 1. I don't want a change of stage to like mess up my flow of my adaptations, which is why we often see, you know, PS2, PS2, PS2. You know what I mean? Because although it's a lack of stage diversity, the gameplay diversity is strong. And as we see right there,
that was the most outer tip of that down smash I've ever seen buried.
As we see, a little bit of gameplay adaptations. Kazi adapting on his own, being like, you know what if I just get a down smash?
Yeah.
What if I just hammer you?
Yeah. And now we have Kazi just with this lead and trying to hold on to it, but Swift trying to say otherwise, as, you know, Kazi being put in disadvantage quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it's definitely looking pretty, I mean, it's looking not great, but it's looking still doable for Swift. I mean, we see him finally get a forward tilt up there. I think being able to run in and get close enough to do those grounded confirm options, I think that's going to be key to winning this game 2.
Yeah, but you have to watch out for the up B, and I feel like that's one thing I haven't seen a lot, is just Kazi going for, you know, just the shield game. Really saying, I'm going to just kind of pressure with my shield, and up B when you try to get too close.
Even there, he parried, but he just went for a jab punch instead.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, valid, obviously. It's a good jab, but it's just interesting. I think it's because he's, again, you said that he's playing more of a positional game. Yeah.
Yeah, going for a offstage up B that is going to cost Kazi, as going on to this next stock, trying to secure it a little bit earlier instead of letting Swift bring things back, but Swift, I feel like, has some life in him, and he's showing that a little bit right now, as he's going to be able to give Kazi 26, 32, 39 and stacking.
And it doesn't feel like a lot of damage, but it's the fact that those damage and those combos are able to carry over to more combos. Because normally, when the Sheik player finishes a combo... Oh, good chair right there, though. I mean, when Sheik players finish their combo, normally the opponent is positioned in a place where they're going to get comboed, like, again.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of advantage that Swift can take advantage of. But so far, I mean, Kazi got another lead.
For sure. And as I say this, Swift, you know, trying to get that positioning going, trying to get things going. But, you know, Kazi just kind of holding position, just saying, I don't really have to approach. I'm just going to hold where I need to be. But, wow.
Okay.
Able to get the up smash from
the needles.
Yeah, from the needles, but from a very edge of the stage.
Yeah, I mean, Game & Watch being a floaty, lightweight character means that he got propped up in the air just high enough to get hit by that tipper up smash. That is definitely huge. I mean, if Swift wants to win this game 2 and take it to a game 3, that is 1,000% what he needed.
Yeah, and as you say that, Swift really racking up the damage now and taking the lead back, but Kazi going to be able to get damage and get the positioning.
Yeah, it is looking much more even now than it was in the last game, but the good bucket right there, able to absorb some of that damage.
Now,
this is where Kazi, sometimes Kazi like really plays into Game & Watch's strengths, you know, like he'll lean heavy into the crouching, will lean heavy into the bucket. He doesn't always do it, but when he does, that's when you know, like, all right, he's locked in. He wants to win this, you know?
Yeah, and for sure, Kazi does not want to drop this. And I feel like both players are kind of playing a little bit for time at this point.
Yeah.
As
I mean, I don't think it's going to go to time, but it's very much a war of attrition.
Yeah, this is for sure. If it doesn't go for time, it's going to end in a situation with a very, very strong stray hit. And I could see this. Ooh, yeah, I can see this just going to time very easily, but I don't believe it will either.
Yeah, and we've seen. Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Just like that.
Yeah, strong straight hit. I mean, that down here is about as strong straight hit as it gets for Game & Watch's tool of moves.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, that was, I say that no matter how much Sheik struggles, that was definitely a very solid showing of that matchup, just in terms of how you play it.
Yeah. It was definitely a very, I mean, Swift played it well, but Kazi was just very focused on that defensive gameplay and was able to thrive positionally on top of the fact that Game & Watch already has a solid matchup versus Sheik.
Yeah, and I'd say for sure Swift, if it wasn't for just playing out of position for the stray hits, definitely played really well in terms of just overall positioning.
Yeah.
For, you know, getting the damage. I will say that, you know, they struggled when it came to like not getting hit by the out of nowhere option, but you know, the out of nowhere option,
it's hard to account for sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a solid showing, but I just really like the way Kazi was playing again, like on positional level. Really, like that was hilarious. that should not have happened.
Yeah,
and
that was the farthest point of that hammer could reach.
Yeah,
I think not even the hammer touching probably the ground.
Just the aura of the hammer was enough to bury Swift. That is unfortunate, and I believe as we see here, actually, I think we see a little bit later, we see that down air, and yeah, a little bit of a mix-up. That's kind of all you need. And yeah, Kazi playing that positional game very well with the forward airs and stuff like that. Just putting on a solid 2-0, and I believe he is going to be facing another opponent. But before we get to future